You've been lied to your entire life. Every teacher, every parent, every authority figure told you the same story. Be good, be kind, be generous, and life will reward you. Work hard, play fair, and success will follow. Help others, and they'll help you when you need it. But look around, look at who actually wins. Look at who gets promoted, who gets rich, who gets respected. It's not the good people. It's never the good people. Right now, while you're being good, someone less qualified is taking your promotion. While you're being kind, someone is using your kindness as a ladder to climb over you. While you're being generous, someone is calculating exactly how much more they can take from you. The shocking truth that nobody wants to admit is that goodness isn't just unrewarded, it's actively punished in the real world. 500 years ago, Niccolò Machiavelli wrote something that scandalized society. A man who wishes to act entirely up to his professions of virtue soon meets with destruction among so many who are not virtuous. He wasn't being cynical. He was being observant. He watched good leaders fall, kind rulers get overthrown, and generous people get betrayed by the very ones they helped. Nothing has changed. Today, I'm revealing 5 brutal truths about why your goodness is destroying your life, and what you can do about it. These aren't comfortable truths. They're not supposed to be. Comfort is what got you into this mess. These are the truths that successful people understand but never talk about, because keeping you good keeps you manageable, keeps you exploitable, keeps you beneath them. Truth number 1. Your goodness makes you predictable, and predictability makes you controllable. Think about the good person you know. You know exactly how they'll react in any situation. Someone needs help, they'll say yes. Someone crosses a boundary, they'll forgive. Someone takes advantage, they'll make excuses for them. This predictability isn't virtue, it's vulnerability. When people know you'll always be good, they know exactly how to manipulate you. They know which buttons to push to get what they want. They know you won't fight back, won't say no, won't protect yourself. You've become a vending machine. They put in a small token of need or guilt, and out comes whatever they want from you. The sophisticated manipulator doesn't even have to work hard. They just have to appear slightly troubled, slightly in need, slightly disappointed in you. Your goodness does the rest. You rush to help, to fix, to please. You exhaust yourself trying to maintain your identity as a good person while they benefit from your compulsion. Here's what actually happens in the real world. The good employee who always says yes to extra work doesn't get promoted. They get more work. The good friend who always listens to problems doesn't get appreciation. They get more problems dumped on them. The good partner who always forgives doesn't get love. They get more betrayals to forgive. Your goodness has become a prison. Every time you act from goodness, you reinforce others' expectations that you'll continue being good. Try to set a boundary after being boundless, and watch how quickly you're labeled self. Try to say no after always saying yes, and see how fast you become the villain. You've trained everyone around you to expect unlimited access to your time, energy, and resources. The tragic irony is that good people often end up bitter and resentful. They give and give until they have nothing left, then wonder why nobody gives back. They sacrifice their dreams to help others achieve theirs, then wonder why they feel empty. They put everyone else first, then wonder why they always come last. The resentment builds slowly, poisoning the very goodness they tried so hard to maintain. Truth number 2. Goodness without boundaries is just weakness with a marketing campaign. You call it being good, others call it being an easy target. You think you're being virtuous, they think you're being foolish. You believe you're earning respect, you're actually earning contempt. Boundaries aren't mean, they're mandatory. But good people have been programmed to believe that boundaries are selfish, that saying no is cruel, that protecting yourself is wrong. So they leave themselves completely defenseless, then wonder why they keep getting hurt. Watch what happens when a habitually good person tries to set a boundary. The reaction is swift and vicious. You've changed. You're not the person I thought you were. I never thought you'd be so self. These aren't observations. They're manipulation tactics designed to push you back into your goodness prison. The people who benefit from your lack of boundaries will fight viciously to prevent you from developing them. They'll use guilt, shame, anger, disappointment, whatever weapon works to keep you boundaryless and exploitable. They need you to stay good because your goodness is their resource. Your time is their convenience. Your energy is their battery. Your money is their safety. Here's the truth nobody tells you. The people who get angry when you set boundaries are exactly the people you need boundaries against. Their anger isn't really about your boundary. It's about losing their unlimited access to you. They're not upset that you're being mean. They're upset that you're no longer being useful. Goodness without boundaries also attracts the worst kind of people. Emotional vampires who feed on giving people. They can spot a good person from across a room. They see the helper, the fixer, the one who can't say no. They attach themselves like parasites and drain you dry, all while telling you how wonderful you are for helping them. These vampires never reciprocate. When you need help, they're suddenly busy. When you need support, they have their own problems. When you need anything at all, they remind you that you're the strong one, the capable one, the good one who doesn't really need help. Your goodness becomes the very reason they give for not being good to you. Truth number 3. Your generosity creates entitlement, not gratitude. The first time you help someone, they're grateful. The second time, they're appreciative. The third time, they expect it. By the 10th time, they're angry if you don't help. Your exceptional generosity has become their normal expectation. This is the generosity paradox. The more you give, the less it's valued. What started as a gift becomes an obligation. What began as kindness becomes an entitlement. The person you've helped the most often becomes the person who respects you the least. They don't see your generosity anymore. They only see what they're owed. Think about parents who give their children everything. The children don't grow up grateful. They grow up they don't appreciate what they have. They complain about what they don't have. The parents' generosity didn't create appreciation. It created appetite. The more they got, the more they wanted. The easier it came, the less it meant. The same pattern plays out in every relationship. The friend you always help starts expecting your help. The colleague you always cover for starts assuming you'll cover. The family member you always bail out starts planning on being bailed out. Your generosity doesn't build loyalty, it builds dependence, and dependents don't respect their providers. They resent them. Here's what's really happening. When you're overly generous, people don't think, "What a good person." They think, "What a fool." They don't respect your giving. They exploit it. They don't admire your selflessness. They take advantage of it. Your generosity doesn't make you valuable to them. It makes you useful. The brutal truth is that strategic selfishness beats blind generosity every time. The person who helps selectively is valued more than the person who helps always. The person who gives strategically creates more impact than the person who gives constantly. Scarcity creates value. Abundance creates waste. This applies to your generosity as much as anything else. Truth number 4. Good people finish last because they're playing the wrong game. You're playing the game of virtue, while everyone else is playing the game of victory. You're following rules they're breaking. You're maintaining standards they're ignoring. You're handicapping yourself with morality while they're using every advantage available. The game of life isn't scored on goodness points. Nobody's keeping track of your sacrifices, your kindness, your moral victories. The scoreboard only shows results. Who got promoted? Who got rich? Who got respected? Who got what they wanted? And while you're proud of playing clean, they're proud of winning. This doesn't mean you should become evil. It means you should become strategic. Stop playing checkers while others play chess. Stop bringing kindness to a strategy fight. Stop expecting moral rewards for moral behavior in an amoral system. The universe doesn't have a customer service department where you can cash in your good person points for success. Good people lose because they fight with one hand tied behind their back. They won't use manipulation, so they get manipulated. They won't be ruthless, so they get destroyed by those who are. They won't play politics, so they get played by politicians. They choose moral victory over actual victory, then wonder why they're morally superior but practically inferior. The successful understand something good people don't. You can be ethical without being weak. You can have values without being vulnerable. You can be moral without being a martyr. The choice isn't between being good and being successful. The choice is between being strategically good and being foolishly good. Truth number 5. Your goodness is often just fear in disguise. You're not good because you're virtuous. You're good because you're scared. Scared of conflict. Scared of rejection. Scared of being disliked. Scared of being alone. Your goodness isn't strength. It's a survival strategy born from fear. Think about why you really say yes when you want to say no. Is it genuine kindness, or is it fear of confrontation? Think about why you really forgive people who don't deserve forgiveness. Is it genuine compassion, or is it fear of losing them? Think about why you really put others first. Is it genuine selflessness, or is it fear that you don't deserve to be first? This fear-based goodness is why good people are so easily controlled. Manipulators don't need to threaten good people with harm. They just need to threaten them with disapproval. The mere possibility of being seen as bad is enough to keep good people in line. They'll sacrifice anything to maintain their good person image, including their own well-being. The addiction to being seen as good is more powerful than any drug. Good people will destroy themselves rather than risk being seen as bad. They'll accept abuse rather than be called difficult. They'll tolerate disrespect rather than be called sensitive. They'll sacrifice their dreams rather than be called selfish. The fear of losing their good person identity controls them more completely than any external force could. Here's the devastating truth. The people who manipulate your goodness don't even think you're good. They think you're weak. They see your compulsive need to be good as a character flaw to exploit, not a virtue to admire. Your goodness doesn't make them think better of you. It makes them think less of you. You're not earning their respect. You're earning their contempt. So what do you do with these truths? How do you stop being destroyed by your own goodness without becoming someone you hate? The answer isn't to abandon goodness entirely. It's to transform it from a weakness into a weapon. Strategic goodness means being good to people who deserve it, not everyone who demands it. It means having boundaries that protect your capacity to be good, long term. It means understanding that saying no to vampires leaves you energy to say yes to worthy causes. It means being good from strength, not from fear. Stop being predictably good. Be strategically good. Help people but not all people. Be generous, but not infinitely generous. Be kind, but not universally kind. Make your goodness scarce enough to be valued, selective enough to be appreciated, and strategic enough to create real impact. Your goodness should be a choice, not a compulsion. A strategy, not a default. A strength, not a weakness. When you're good because you choose to be, not because you're afraid not to be, everything changes. People stop taking you for granted and start respecting your choices. They stop expecting your help and start appreciating it. They stop seeing you as weak and start seeing you as strong. The world doesn't need more blindly good people who get exploited and become bitter. It needs strategically good people who protect their energy, maintain their boundaries, and direct their goodness where it can make a real difference. It needs people who understand that being good to yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary for being sustainably good to others. Remember, in a world full of people pretending to be good while acting strategically, the person who pretends to be strategic while acting good is playing the wrong game. Stop sacrificing your success on the altar of goodness. Start using your goodness as a tool for success. The most powerful position isn't being good or being ruthless. It's being capable of both and wise enough to know when each is appropriate. Be good to those who earn. Be ruthless to those who exploit it. Be strategic with everyone. Stop letting your goodness be your weakness. Start making it your weapon. Not a weapon to hurt others, but a weapon to protect yourself. Not a weapon to destroy, but a weapon to build. Not a weapon of aggression, but a weapon of selection. The shocking cost of goodness is only shocking if you're paying it blindly. When you pay it strategically, it becomes an investment. When you pay it selectively, it becomes powerful. When you pay it consciously, it becomes a choice rather than a burden. You can't save everyone. You can't help everyone. You can't be good to everyone. And that's not a moral failing. It's a mathematical reality. Your resources are finite. Your energy is limited. Your time is scarce. Spending them blindly on whoever demands them isn't goodness. It's foolishness. True goodness requires wisdom about where to direct it. True kindness requires boundaries about who receives it. True generosity requires strategy about when to express it. Without these elements, your goodness isn't really good. It's just weak. The choice isn't between being Mother Teresa and being Machiavelli. The choice is between being consciously good and unconsciously exploited. Between being strategically kind and blindly used. Between being selectively generous and universally drained. Wake up to the game being played around you. Stop being a pawn in other people's strategies. Start being the strategist of your own life. Use your goodness wisely, protect it carefully, and direct it strategically. The world has enough martyrs. What it needs is strategic good people who understand the game, play it well, and use their success to create real positive change. Not from a position of weakness and exploitation, but from a position of strength and choice. Drop this in the comments. Strategic goodness is my new weapon. Subscribe if you're ready to stop being exploited for your goodness and start being respected for your boundaries. Because in the next video, I'm revealing the exact framework for transforming from a good victim into a strategic victor. Until then, remember, your goodness is only as powerful as your ability to withhold it from those who don't deserve it. Stop being good to everyone. Start being great to the right ones. The transformation begins with a simple realization. You've been programmed to fail. From childhood you were taught that being good guarantees success, that helping others ensures they'll help you, that sacrifice leads to reward. But look at the evidence. Look at who actually wins in this world. It's not the good, It's the strategic. Consider the workplace dynamic. The employee who stays late isn't rewarded with promotion. They're rewarded with more work. Why? Because they've proven they'll accept exploitation without complaint. Meanwhile, the employee who sets boundaries, who says no strategically, who makes their value scarce, they're the ones who advance. Not because they're better at their job, but because they're better at the game. The same pattern repeats in personal relationships. The friend who's always available becomes taken for granted. Their availability makes them common, and common things aren't valued. But the friend who's selective with their time, who makes their presence feel like a gift rather than a given, they're treasured. Not because they're a better friend, but because they understand the psychology of value. Here's what good people never learn until it's too late. Every act of unconditional goodness teaches others that your goodness is unconditional. Every time you help without reciprocation, you train others that reciprocation isn't necessary. Every time you forgive without change, you teach that change isn't required. You're literally programming the people around you to exploit you, then wondering why you feel exploited. The brutal mathematics of goodness work like this. If you give 100% to everyone, each person gets a valueless fraction. But if you give 100% selectively, those chosen few get something precious. The same energy, the same goodness, but strategically deployed creates exponentially more value and respect. This isn't about being less good, it's about being more intelligent with your goodness. Think about water in the desert versus water in the ocean. Same substance, completely different value based on scarcity. Your goodness works the same way. When it's everywhere, it's worthless. When it's rare, it's priceless. The most respected people aren't the ones who help everyone. They're the ones whose help is hard to earn but transformative when given. Machiavelli understood this paradox perfectly. Men are so false that a prudent ruler cannot, and should not honor his word when it places him at a disadvantage. This doesn't mean lie constantly. It means understand that rigid adherence to virtue in a flexible moral world is strategic suicide. The person who adapts survives. The person who remains rigid, regardless of how good that rigidity is, breaks. Let's talk about the cost you're already paying. Every yes you give to someone who doesn't deserve it is a no to someone who does. Every hour you spend on an emotional vampire is an hour stolen from someone worthy. Every dollar you give to someone who won't appreciate it is a dollar you can't invest in someone who would. Your misplaced goodness isn't just hurting you. It's hurting the people who actually deserve your help but can't get it because you've exhausted yourself on the undeserving. The opportunity cost of blind goodness is astronomical. While you're helping someone who will forget your name tomorrow, you're missing the chance to build a relationship with someone who would remember you forever. While you're solving someone else's repeated mistakes, you're not developing the skills that would transform your own life. While you're being good to people who see you as useful, you're not finding people who would see you as valuable. Here's the intelligence test. Can you be good without being stupid? Can you be kind without being weak? Can you be generous without being exploited? These aren't contradictions, they're evolutions. The evolution from blind goodness to strategic goodness, from universal kindness to selective kindness, from infinite generosity to intelligent generosity. The world doesn't need more martyrs. Martyrs inspire for a moment, then they're forgotten. The world needs strategic good people who accumulate power and resources, through intelligence, then use that power and those resources to create lasting change. You can't help anyone from a position of depletion. You can't lift others when you're crushed. You can't give what you don't have because you gave it all away to people who wasted it. Consider nature's wisdom. The tree doesn't give fruit to every creature equally. It makes them reach for it, work for it, prove they can handle it. The sun doesn't shine with the same intensity everywhere. It creates seasons, variations, differences. Even nature understands that universal, constant giving creates dependency and weakness, not strength and growth. Your strategic evolution starts now. From this moment, every act of goodness becomes a conscious choice, not a compulsive reaction. Every yes becomes earned, not assumed. Every kindness becomes valuable, not common. Every bit of generosity becomes an investment, not a donation. You're not becoming less good, you're becoming more powerful with your goodness. The people who will hate this change are exactly the people who were benefiting from your weakness. They'll call you selfish, because you're no longer selfless to your own destruction. They'll call you mean because you're no longer nice to your own detriment. They'll call you changed because you're no longer changeless in your exploitability. Their anger is your confirmation that you're on the right path. Remember, the person who is good to everyone is special to no one. The person who helps everyone helps no one, meaningfully. The person who gives everything has nothing left to give when it really matters. Strategic goodness isn't about being less good. It's about being more effective with the good you do. Your goodness is a resource. Treat it like one. Invest it wisely. Protect it carefully. Deploy it strategically. Make it count. Make it matter. Make it powerful. Because strategic goodness isn't just more effective. It's the only sustainable way to be truly good in a world that consumes blind goodness and discards the people who practice it. The choice is yours. Continue being blindly good and wondering why you're exhausted, exploited and empty, or evolve into strategic goodness and watch how the world starts respecting your boundaries, valuing your presence, and appreciating your selective generosity. Stop being good to everyone. Start being transformative to the worthy few.